If you ride a Harley, there's a good chance that you're going to consider changing out your handlebars. For me, it's been one of the toughest decisions that I've had to face. Because the choices aren't obvious, it takes a lot of time, work, and money to swap out your handlebars. I was faced with the decision to change out my handlebars when I started riding my 2021 Harley Iron 883 on longer trips. The low-slung ergos of the Iron 883 weren't especially good after an hour. My wrist would hurt, my back would hurt, plus aesthetically, stock sucks, and I was ready for a change. In this video, you'll come along with me as I try two different types of setups, handlebars and risers. Not because this channel has a lot of money to spend on different parts, but rather I made a big mistake and I had to do the work twice. So it wasn't fun. No, I didn't think things through. I didn't do exactly what you're doing right now, which is thoroughly researching handlebar setups. So hopefully, if there's one person out there I can help, this video did its job. I thought dialing in the right height that I needed was everything that I need to consider. And after that, maybe just the looks. Boy, was I wrong. There's width to consider, which affects how you perform on the motorcycle. And then there's something called cantilever. Handlebars have it, risers not so much. I was so focused on not having to move my gauge that I blindly eliminated risers and went straight to handlebars. A decision that I painfully regret. Not that handlebars are technically bad, but that cantilever sure kicked my ass. So without further ado, let's roll the handlebar portion of this comparison video, then I'll check back in briefly when we switch over to the risers. But be sure to watch to the very end because we're giving away a first manufacturing company Dagger riding jacket. They've given us a jacket to give away to one lucky viewer. It's a really cool jacket, I got one myself. So saddle up and let's ride.
Buck and Doze. Hot deli, groceries, beer, lotto, bait, tackle, and tobacco. Everything you need for a nutritious diet. Well, that must mean I'm at 182nd Avenue Road. Oh yeah. Time to get some pavement time in on the outskirts of the Ocala National Forest. Looks like we got some rain coming in though. Let's see what the forecast says. Forecast says no rain, mostly sunny. Well, that it is. $1,000 for that gasser project. Yeah, with this 8-inch rise and my elbow's just slightly bent, it's just a very relaxed feeling. But I feel like I have more control and can be a little bit more precise when I pick my corners going in because of the rise. I wouldn't be too surprised if this is fairly equivalent to motocross bike height, but it just gives me that vibe. But at the same time, it doesn't look like motocross bars going across. And that's kind of the look I wanted to achieve. I wanted to give it a little bit of a choppery look, a little bit of an edge, without it looking motocross or cafe. But with my mid controls, I can scoot up or move back depending on my mood. So with riding a little bit more aggressively, I'm leaning a little bit more forward, scooting forward on my seat. But it's still, my legs are straight down, so it's very comfortable. So no matter if I'm in the straights or in the corner on a turn, it's giving me everything I want, and I didn't have to raise my gauge. I can see my speedo, my miles per hour right in front of me, and with a full face helmet, I can see everything clearly. And it's not obstructing my view. If I got like T-bars, I'd have to get a gauge relocation kit and move it up on the T-bar or off to the side on the left, like some people have done in the past. And I just didn't want to deal with that. So I wanted something with a chalice in the middle that created an opening for the gauge and still gave me the rise that I wanted over stock, and gave me that choppery feel when I wanted it. And then I just scoot myself up on my seat and I'm fully engaged and feel fully in control. So when you take this into the twisties, I'm not losing any performance. In fact, I think I'm gaining over the stock 883 bars. And I'm getting as much as if I had T-bars or some type of motocross bar. Just takes a minute to get used to because it is a little bit more narrow than the stock bars. Check out this thing. Pretty dang cool. Wonder what this is. It's got newer seats. Looks like somebody worked on it at some point. It's got the right amount of doors. That would be badass. Little fastback. I would say it's a Studebaker, but I could be wrong. It's a guess. But yeah, definitely a project. Good old American steel. Anybody knows what this is? Put it down in the comments. But that'd be a cool project. $1,000. Wonder if it's got a title. Another picturesque spot to stop. Just getting a bunch of picturesque spots in today. Very cool. Very picturesque. Big old water tank. What's this say on it? Johnson Gear and Manufacturing, Berkeley, California. They actually make stuff in Berkeley? I thought they just made liberals there. Save the rhinos. That's another picture opportunity there. Okay. I think we gotta tighten those up, Pedro. I don't think we're supposed to do that. I don't think that's supposed to be possible. Yeah.
As I walk back to my motorcycle, I realize that I don't have my toolkit with me and I can't tighten down the bolts on the top clamp. And somehow I rationalize to myself that maybe, just maybe, I'll be okay.
Soon after.
Oh. Well, I'm back. I should have changed out my battery when I stopped there for that photo op, but I didn't. And I was just going to go home and wrap this episode up. But I just went down. Turns out that when the bars are loose like that, you should not ride your motorcycle. But I got a little bit of road rash here. My hip is sore. Turned back my thumb. So I was wearing gloves, but my thumb got pushed back. So my nail doesn't look too good. But the Bung King bar, crash bars, the shock sliders, and the highway bar did their job. But I ended up getting some damage on the tank right here. Looks like my clutch lever took the brunt of the ground, and my looks like my hand grip there got it. I had my hat on my jeans, you know, strapped to my belt loop, and yeah, took the brunt of it there. But I am sore. But it turns out that you should torque these down again after you ride it for just a little bit. I don't know if underneath here it's knurled and it's got a gritty patch where the clamp can clamp onto. I had to get the bike back in neutral, and it wasn't going in neutral without, and I started the engine real quick to see if that would clear the memory on the computer, and it did. So I was able to get it back in neutral, but the engine smoked a little bit, which I'm sure that was because the oil was not where it needed to be.
So I called Pedro, he's on his way to come get me in the bike. And that's that. Lesson learned, don't ride with floppy handlebars. See what other damage I got. A little bit of road rash on my saddlebag. But could have been a whole lot worse. Where's Pedro? I am sore and hungry.
One eternity later.
Oh, here he comes.
How you doing? He's sore.
I'm sore.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, man.
Oh, anytime, dude.
Cool pack. Thank you.
Oh.
My hip is killing me. The couple there were good Samaritans who witnessed the crash. They went home to retrieve medical supplies and snacks. It's good to know there are decent folks out there willing to stop and help a stranger. Cantilever. Make sure that you tighten after first use. Well, it's been about 6 weeks since the accident, and, you know, I've healed up. I got a scar, but chicks dig scars, right?
Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
So let's head over to Wanderer Customs, get the risers installed with the stock 83 bar, and take it for a rip. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I should have done this to begin with.
Yes.
But I cheaped out and I got these LA chopper bars with the cantilever.
Yes.
And
Adjustable.
apparently I didn't have them locked down enough. But these are toast, right?
Yes, those are better.
All right. But check this out. So Bung King 6-inch riser, and I didn't have to buy some type of accessory. It just bolts on with the factory top clamp and gauge combo. So if you got a Sportster, this is really the way to go. And the stock handlebars. Yeah, these are the 883 bars that came with the bike. Kept those. And so if you have your bars, you just want to get a rise, 6, 8, 10, 12-inch, Bung King's got you covered.
You need to buy an extension kit just to have it running from here to go on to here. This is not touching anything.
Yeah, we didn't buy an extension kit for the harness, so.
I mean, if you want to put bigger risers, you would need extensions.
Yeah, so the 6-inch you don't, but if you did the 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it just looks perfect on this bike. More than that, it's just too much.
Little mini Dynabro, huh? So we replaced the, uh-oh. It's a different color.
Might have to order new ones.
I ordered, that's the same, that was the one that they replaced. I have to order another one here to match it.
I would just leave it like that. It looks cool.
You think so?
Now you only need a black grip and a green grip.
Right. But yeah, I see that. That's gray, not black.
I kind of like it. It looks different. For me, different is cool.
Well,
Tells the story.
it's definitely a talking point. Like, hey man, why is your Delcron tips on your Bung King bar?
Nobody cares.
Of course, we got a new brake lever, or clutch lever. But here's the other big news, getting these indicator lights and the running lights down low. So I think that looks pretty good. Before they were up here, and I just didn't like how it was illuminated. We get this bright light here and then here. Now everything's going to be like one cluster. And I think that's going to help with visibility.
You can fully adjust them to whatever you want. I got everything torqued down pretty good.
So what is the maintenance on the riser bars? I know with the cantilever, I'm supposed to come back in a week or two, right?
Usually you don't need to do that, but because you were using new handlebars with the old clamps, I would always say like, hey man, check it after going for one ride, crank them down again just to make sure.
So with this, I need to crank them down again?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm
I
good.
got it like, you can pick the whole bike from here now, but just as a good thing, after a ride, take the tool and check it.
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate it. As always, Wanderer Customs, V-twins and vintage motorcycles. Links down below for Wanderer Customs. Pedro will hook you up. Just tell him Kenny Quest sent you.
Yes, please do.
Well, it's no more a brand new bike. It's got some character to it. The honeymoon is over. But yeah, the stance, it feels a little bit lower than those previous bars for sure. So that 2 inches difference. These are 6, those were 8. So I can definitely feel this, but I'm digging the control feeling that I'm getting. It's like I'm in more control. Yeah, it's good height.
I can see what he's saying about the clutch lever though. Take it easy for the first few miles. But I love having the display right in my face. I can see everything. And when you have a full face helmet, that's something that, you know, you need to consider. And the seating position, so I have a nice gentle bend in my elbows, so it's more relaxed. Sight lines are good in the mirrors. Maybe a slight adjustments needed. I'll do that when I get home. But yeah, very comfortable. But not having ridden the bike in about a month now makes you kind of a little cautious to mount back up after you lay it down. At least I'm not like really nervous right now, but I am feeling like I'm trying to get refamiliarize myself with the bike and get comfortable, on top of having a different stance with my bars. The first few miles with this handlebar setup, way more comfortable than that narrow Frisco bar setup. So again, just goes to show I should have stuck with my initial gut and gone this way. And again, I just got so hung up with making sure that if I were just going to do T-bars, how can I do it under 500 bucks? And everything I was running into, doing YouTube searches and seeing what other people were doing on Instagram, was that you had to buy some type of bracket or gauge holder, and you couldn't use your stock gauge clamp and all that kind of stuff. And Bung King isn't as a popular handlebar brand, and they're not sold at JMP Cycles and some other big time distributors or retailers online, so I kind of skipped them, or it wasn't obvious to me that I could use Bung King and retain my stock top clamp, because the way it's set up with the angle, at least with the 6-inch bars, it's pretty good. And I would imagine it'd be the same with the 8-inch, but above that I couldn't guess. So that's good. So I think I'm going to take this on a ride for the weekend. Hit the road. And I'll be able to give it a full evaluation. So I'll see you on the road. Yeah, getting on the interstate definitely feels a little bit different. Now, one thing that doesn't bother me at all is the wind. Of course, I got rid of that Puke fly screen, and you know, I welcome the wind. Feels great. But the vibrations are definitely different. With the bars being higher up, it's got this higher frequency resonance that's a little bit different. What's more enjoyable is the fact that I'm not hunched over. I'm just like sitting straight up in a chair, and I can slouch as much or as little as I want by bending my elbows. So I can definitely see the benefits of taking the Sportster on the highway and quickly getting out of the state of Florida, going north to get to a destination. Now, by putting the stock mirrors back on, I'm getting, you know, some shoulder, but I don't have to move my head up and down to see. I can just look to the left, look to the right, within the sight line. I don't have to move my head. Just fold in my elbows a little bit, get more visibility if I need it for close engagement. So I'd say for interstate riding, the 6-inch risers are definitely a plus for overall comfort. If you're going to crunch some miles, a few hundred miles on the interstate before you get to the back roads for your journey. Now, a lot of people don't run their sporties on the interstate, but you know, some people run them cross country on I-10. But I like using the interstate as a tool to get somewhere quick, a lot quicker. I usually shave off a half hour to 40 minutes when you're trying to head out of state, or just to get across the state. So with the handlebars the way they are, my Bung King crash bar that I can use to extend out my legs. Makes it for, you know, an enjoyable interstate ride. But it's got some different shimmies and shakes with these handlebars the way they are. You feel the road. I feel a lot more of the road up front than I remember before. But when I say I feel the road, it's not like I'm feeling, you know, bumps and it's a suspension issue. It's just more of a contact and feeling that I'm getting from the road up through the handlebars. Just feels more sensitive because I'm riding over bumps on purpose, little divots in the road, and the shocks are doing their job. So it's definitely not that. Like right there, I feel it. It's like a very high pitch rubbing friction feel. And you know, with the 883 bars, the lower bars, you just felt like you weren't getting those vibrations because you were down lower. And I'm thinking that when you move away from the stock configuration, you get these different sensations. It becomes almost a different bike altogether. And I can see where if you mess up on your handlebar choice, the feel of the bike is going to be different. You may not like it. So I'm curious if you guys out there have swapped handlebars and you know you had to take an acclimation process up here to get used to it. And if you weren't happy after it and you had to go back to what you had before, or you know, try something different. So I like the height. I like the seating position, the rider triangle that it's giving me. I like the fact that I moved my mirrors back up. Feel a lot more comfortable moving around traffic, or traffic moving around me, what have you. But the front wheel feel and the vibrations, that's different. And of course I'm going to give it a shot and get used to it. So I think it's one of those just got to get used to it type thing, and as long as the ergos feel good, then I'll get used to the feel of the bike. So two things that I've learned in this episode. One is go with your first instinct. You know, if you feel T-bars are your solution rather than some type of cantilever bar, whether it's Frisco bar, ape hanger, you know, you're probably right. And the second is that even if you don't do the work yourself, you're still responsible for your bike. It's your bike, it's not their bike. And that's why a lot of people wrench on their own bikes themselves. They don't trust other people to work on them because they know everything that they've done to the bike. Now, you're not born with a wrench in your hand, but it's your responsibility to, you know, have tools and go behind people's work and check them as much as you can. I know there's some things out there that you just have to rely on the mechanic, and that's where the trust comes in between you and the company that you pick to work on your bike. Harleys shake and rattle and they roll, and bolts can come off, things can get loose, and you got to do your T-clocks. So go with your gut instinct and do your T-clocks. That's what I've learned in this episode. And of course, just coming off where I laid the bike down, I'm thinking the front wheel's gonna fly off. This time I got the camera on, so I'm gonna capture it. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But I got the gear on today, so if it does, bring it on. And a good opportunity to talk about the gear, because I got a gear giveaway. That's right, 4,000 subscribers is coming up. And I got a 4,000 subscriber giveaway thanks to my new sponsor to the channel, First Manufacturing Co. You guys know them. They're all over the place. Instagram, YouTube. They really support our niche of Harley riding with all sorts of cool gear, from vests to jackets to armored shirts, belts, gloves. So let me take a minute to talk about this new jacket and how you can get one too.
Guys, allow me the pleasure of introducing this week's sponsor, First Manufacturing Company, and their Dagger Twill Riding Jacket. The Dagger Twill Riding Jacket is a lightweight jacket suited for warmer climates during the fall, winter, spring riding seasons. The Dagger is unassuming in appearance, clean with quality YKK zipper and button snap pocket construction, featuring dual concealed carry storage, ultra deep inside storage pockets, Kevlar reinforced shoulders and elbows, with CE Level 2 armor pockets for your back, shoulders, and elbows. The Dagger Twill Riding Jacket comes with a lifetime warranty. A defensive riding style is your first line of protection. Second is your gear. As I learned in this episode, dress for the slide, not the ride. Use the link in the description below to get your own Dagger Riding Jacket, or view hundreds of riding apparel designs from First Manufacturing Company. Then use the code KennyQuestShow for 25% off your order. Now let's head inside for your chance to win a Dagger Twill jacket of your own, courtesy of First Manufacturing Company and the Kenny Quest Show.
All right, so our good friends at First Manufacturing are doing something solid for the Kenny Quest Show viewers. They are supplying their own Dagger jacket to you guys. So we have an extra large Dagger jacket for you. So what we're going to do is at 4,000 subscribers, right now we're at 36 and some change. So at 4,000 subscribers, I'm going to go back to this post right here, this video, and I'm going to look in the comments. And if you are an extra large, the jacket's going to fit, okay? But if you're not extra large, please don't do this. But if you're an extra large and you answer the following question, you get the jacket. The first one that answers the question properly will get the jacket, all right? So here's the question. Who came with me to my very first bike show? So you have to go, hey, what that very first bike show was, and who came with me on that episode. Put the answer down below. Here's a hint. It's a female.
All right, guys, thanks for coming along with me on this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you stuck with me till the end. It took a while to make this video. It took a long time to make this video, over several weekends. Obviously, with an accident involved, you have to, get well and heal, and I was sore for a week, for sure. But I'm glad the way it worked out. With the risers and the stock 83 bar, I should have did that first. But, you live and learn, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. That's what this channel is all about. It's learning. I don't have all the answers, so I'm just documenting what I go through and my experiences. So I really appreciate those who have stuck around to the end to watch this video and watch this saga. Who knows what the future holds, but obviously on the Iron 83, I got to get some suspension work done in the back, maybe some cartridges in the front, and then the engine work after that. That's definitely on the list. And one more thing, we're celebrating the 4th season of the Kenny Quest Show. So I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, for those who have, and for those who have just joined recently. I got a whole catalog of videos going back 3 years to enjoy. So click right here for the Iron 83 playlist, and then click right here for my Frankenglide playlist, my 1996 Softail Heritage Special, the Street Stalker, and I'll see you on the next one.
Whoop, whoop. Here I come.